We're good.
Okay. So, when we left the party, Ro, after you were announced and your entourage was announced, the Yanti in the area start whispering back and forth, and you can hear them saying, "She must be from Niti," which I hope I'm saying that close to right. And instantly, most of the Yanti are like focused on you. Several of them do come up and start talking with you, asking about where you're from. And during this time frame, Sim almost accosts a grung and is led away into a back hallway.
I almost accosted someone? That doesn't sound like me.
Narga went to the area where they are serving food and instantly got a big plate of meat.
That does not sound like Narga at all.
Mm-hmm. Spider wandered off. You're not entirely sure where, but after a while, Narga wanders off down that back hallway that Sim went to as well. As far as I know, Barrett stayed with you. A few minutes later, not too terribly long, maybe 10 or 15, Narga and Spider come back out of that same hallway while the various Yanti are chatting you up and asking about your kingdom. Around this time frame, King Tezomoak and Princess Anokuana are announced and walk in. And just a couple minutes later, Queen Itzel is announced. And this woman, as she slithers in, because she is a Malison, she's still wearing armor. It's obviously usable armor, but it is fancy for this party. And she, even though it is a party, is armed. And so when she comes in, there is also a younger Yanti male with her that is announced as Cadmail, Prince of, what was that place that I called it? Chizit. I am so going to butcher this name. Chitzen Itza. I swear, I need a reptile tongue for these things.
There are procedures for that. You can have that done.
I don't know how much that would actually help with the pronunciation.
The armor is fully functional. It's beautiful, however, it protects all of the vital organs.
Likely story.
Yep. And so when Queen Itzel comes in, she looks around, sees where the king is, and notices you, and then immediately comes up to introduce herself. She says, welcome. You must possibly be from Niti?
Yes. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. Are you here to negotiate alliance, or are you here as a vacation tourist traveler?
Somewhere in the middle. I wasn't here necessarily to form any kind of alliance, but I'm here on behalf of Druid Llewellyn. She asked me to investigate some Fey disruption in the area. We're looking for some kind of possible tear in between the planes.
You must be one of the adventurers that assisted with saving my daughter, then.
Yes, that was us.
Tezomoak, and she gestures, and he comes over. Have you compensated them yet? They have done us quite a huge favor, and I believe you had been wrapped up in other business. And so Tezomoak actually says, I am terribly sorry. Thank you so much for saving our daughter, and we'll hand you a bag of 500 gold pieces.
I would insist that compensation isn't necessary. We do this simply because it is the right thing to do, but I could use this to further help in the area and fund our expedition to figure out what exactly is going on, because I believe it is related to what happened to your daughter.
Very well. Please take it and use it to continue your investigation.
Gladly. Do you know who I might actually be able to talk to about any of that? Do you have a local source?
I have heard that the hermit that lives a little bit to the north possibly has been having some dealings with entities, but he is a strange creature, and it's always hard to say whether or not the stories coming out of that area are true.
Worth investigating nonetheless. I appreciate that.
Around this time frame, the initial entertainers are getting started playing, and it's lovely music. They go on for about 15 minutes or so, and then you see this little red grung like look around and then dart down the hallway that Sim had gone down earlier.
Has Sim come back from being down that hallway?
He has not yet.
And I notice all this.
Yeah, it's pretty evident.
I would like to ask, because
Yes.
Narga is supposed to like introduce him.
Yep.
Is it getting about that time that it is now like Narga's cue?
Fairly soon. The band up on the stage is kind of wrapping up, and you can see that the grung and humans serving the area are prepping for the next entertainer. And as the previous group comes out, the little red grung does come and grab Sim and lets him know that it's about time for your session.
Oh my.
Yep.
The most polite way to put that.
And so, Narga, you will see Sim actually starting to walk out of that area.
Ladies and gentlemen of all colors and sizes, Narga would like to present his best friend and the most epic of all military musicians. Please bring your hands together for the one, the only Ketchup.
At which point he's gonna cast pyrotechnics on that large bonfire. Everybody in the room has to make a Constitution saving throw or be blinded.
Honestly, super fun with that. Hold on, where is my Constitution?
I really think that the Spar toy of Ketchup would have been a really fun title to go with there, but I thought of it too late.
Just a regular Constitution?
Yes, Narga is able to make his own.
One should hope. Nope, I'm blind. I'm blind!
It looks like most of the partygoers are also blind. The queen had managed to cover her eyes fast enough that she's fine. And the boy that's with her also managed to cover his eyes. But the king and the princess, both blind. Most of the grung, blind.
It is a pretty epic pyrotechnics show. It's just like the initial flash is so bright, and I imagine it's kind of like, have you ever seen when like the fireworks guy doesn't exactly pack the fireworks right and there's just black smoke?
Yeah. That initial.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we're going to have to find out from Travis if this is when Spider sneaks off or not. So we will have to come back to him. I believe he was planning to try to convince Barrett to assist him in an endeavor. And if you're all right with Jaegering Barrett, Shayna, I would appreciate it. So we'll get back to them. Sim, beautiful pyrotechnics. You have been announced beautifully by apparently your best friend forever, Narga.
Best friend 5 hour.
You know. So Sim's
Narga
performance
does not know this
into
number
everything
5.
being blind will start out very low. He's basically doing a pan flute rendition of Enter the Sandman, so it will start off nice and slow with the blindness anyway, and just really amp up. Obviously, Narga is completely, invited to continue his pyrotechnics at the proper moments in the song if he would like.
That's a
And
second
this
level
might even
spell.
help
Now
him
Narga's kind of tapped out.
because, okay, well, I am going to be doing this so that basically I'm not even rolling on this performance. It's just going to be straight up like Fey magic getting wound.
Of course, it even says seductive.
It
like,
does. It's
Oh, yeah.
It was part of why I chose this bard school.
It should just say seductive performance.
I was very much on the fence on the different bard schools, and the descriptions here were kind of what really pushed it over the edge.
All right. So, well, in that case,
Yeah. So
choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watched and listened to all of it, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier.
let's see here. That is 5.
Cool. So, which 5 people are you targeting?
How many people were at that table of royals?
So there's Ro, there's the queen and this young Yanti male that's following her. There's the king and the princess, and then there is a smattering of other Yanti nobles who you haven't met.
The 5 most important looking people in the room.
All right. Well, that would be Ro, Tezomoak, Anakoana, itself, and Cadmail.
Is this a good time to mention my charisma is a big fat 0?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I have a chance. Never mind.
You'll be fine.
Yes.
You'll be fine. Totally fine.
I think Ro would have an identity crisis if she was suddenly, enthralled.
All right.
It could be the most amazing pan fluting you've ever heard in your life.
Already the best pyrotechnics I've ever seen. I may never see pyrotechnics again because I'm blind now, but oh, thank God.
What a bunch of immune jerks. Hey, I got one. I got 2.
Ooh, jeez.
All right, so the queen is fine, but the king, the young Yanti male who is there, and the princess all are completely charmed and enamored by you.
What's that? Not furry gentlemen.
With the way it's worded, are they going to be aware that they were charmed once the spell ends? Or once it ends?
Usually a charm is if it fails, they know, or when it wears off. And this just says if they succeed on their save, they don't know that they were charmed, or that you tried to charm them.
And
so,
no, they don't. That's one of college examiners, because it's not even really a magic ability. Basically, they are just it's Beatles mania. Technically, they're not even charmed. It's the charmed condition, but
right.
No, they just love you. So the queen enjoying the music, but past. The king, the princess, and this young male. Yeah, they love you. They adore you.
You
I
are
would
the best
say-
thing since sliced bread.
I would say as soon as he there's a stall or a stopping point, Nargo will actually go up to him and be like,
This instrument does not carry very well. How do you command a battalion with such things?
Delicately.
What is this
The way one
term
should lead all
delicate?
armies.
And push come to shove, if your little toy soldiers aren't into that, there's always the drums or the lute that can carry a little bit further some days.
Oh, drums. This is more Narga's. But you keep doing you.
Oh, I play drums very well.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Charge into battle.
Nargo will go back to getting some food.
Okay. So, is there anything else at the party that you three would like to accomplish?
I definitely want to just continue mining for information, not just about this hermit if possible, but anything else that could have been happening, anything strange with their crops, anything strange culturally, their communications with their gods, like little things that might connect to it, but
Okay.
otherwise, Ro isn't particularly actually interested in other royalty unless they're doing a lot of good for their people, so.
All right. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me then.
Okay.
Can Sim offer her advantage because he's feeling especially helpful while discussing fun things to do in their various kingdoms?
Yes.
Because that's all he's not even doing anything with this permanent deck.
I will also say, because of your performance, you have inspiration. So at some point when you choose, you can have advantage on some check.
Well, even with the advantage, I am not very persuasive.
Yeah. So
I mentioned my charisma score.
So you do find out that the young boy that's following around Itzel is named Cadmiel. He is the prince of Chichen Itza, and he beat Itzel at a game of Bowl, which is a board game, for anyone that doesn't know, that is military based. And she has decided to take him under her wing and actually train him as kind of a military leader. Chichen Itza is...
I was just going to offer, if it helps at all, the Z's are just S's. In the Huatl, the Z's are just S's. So if that helps at all pronunciation-wise, otherwise you're fine.
Yeah. When Itzel went there with her troops, they were undergoing a famine. And so this city has now become part of their empire because she basically saved their people from famine. And her advisors for farming, basically as part of her army, basically taught some of the people of the city some farming techniques to improve their harvest and avoid having this famine happen again.
Okay.
So Cadmiel's father is still in charge of that area, but they are now beholden to Titzelmoak and Itzel. You would also find that Itzel is the military leader of her people, while Titzelmoak, her husband, does most of the administrative, ruling, day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
Don't get to find a whole lot about the hermit, other than he's a human and seems to be really weird.
Okay. Still enough to go on. I'll just go north until we find a weirdo. We're good.
I would say at some point, Nargo will start imbibing the fermented fruit, the rotten fruit beverages. Once his belly is full, he will try this non-meat substance.
Okay. How fast is he drinking?
He's very thirsty.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw then.
Chug.
You start feeling a little fuzzy in the head, but you seem to be fine. It tastes odd compared to what you're used to, in that it kind of has a tanniny bite to it amongst the fruit.
Alright, Nargo just kind of goes along with it. Every once in a while making this noise.
Is that giggle juice?
No warning, no anything, just really.
It's like the giggle shots in Fantastic Beasts.
Spit take all over my monitor.
For Sim, you get a lot of like fan service from Anakoana and Tetsumoak. Want to know where you're from, where you're going to be playing next. You get thanked.
That's not what I thought. Fan service.
Getting to that. Anakoana, because you were stand out a lot because you're a satyr. Thanks you multiple times for assisting with waking her up, and wants to know if there's anything that she could do to show her appreciation.
Oh, absolutely. But he's going to lean in and whisper it.
Okay.
Does Rosho or Narga like realize this at all, or like, because Narga might actually care if he's trying to ingratiate himself with the royals?
Well, you probably are standing near Ro and Sim where the royals are. You could do an insight check against Sim, unless Sim is not.
As a surprise, obviously.
Apparently, no.
Oh, that makes it so much better. So as the night starts to wrap up, Narga, several fit Yanti women say that there has been a spa and bath prepared for you at the request of Princess Anakoana, and that there will be extra delicious food and service.
You can't give me this many innuendos. It's not fair. There's this nice wet bath, and it'll be delicious things to eat.
Narga perks up at delicious things. Narga's pretty full, but he might be able to fit one more morsel into him.
Okay. So if you go with them, you are led off to one side, a beautiful room with a massage table to one side. A bath is ready. There is a lovely platter of food available with more of the fermented beverage. And they will bathe you, massage you, provide you all of the noms, and groom you.
Because it's a young tea, right?
Yes, they are Yanti.
So Narga, is like, you are not strong enough to massage Narga. Narga will massage you.
Okay.
And Narga will proceed to massage all these people.
Okay.
Talk about ingratiating yourself.
Yeah.
Narga is not actually comfortable being touched.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair.
At the end of it, you are presented with a very brightly colored outfit, and told that this is a present for you. Sim, you would have had the opportunity to say what colors would be best.
Let's see. He usually wears blacks, right? So I'm thinking like purples and pinks.
Okay, you are presented with a purple and pink colored, very fancy outfit.
Define fancy. Narga
So
has a very unique build.
Yeah, so it seems like someone had actually, during your spa, had actually made this for you. It is very well made. It is tailored to fit, but it is a Yanti version of fancy clothes. So there's a lot of feathers involved, and because they realized you had fur, the fabric doesn't cover a whole lot. It does have something that will fold to each side of your tail, so you don't have to worry about your tail getting in the way.
Fancy bedazzled thong.
Are there ribbons for the hair too? Because
Yes, and the horns with little flowers and feathers. Sorry.
Is this a military uniform? What rank is Narga now?
At least a lieutenant. I don't know. What is it? The feathers?
No, literally, Narga's asking this question. Like,
Yeah.
is this a military uniform?
It's a party uniform.
But it is a uniform. Narga is expected to wear this.
Yes. Yes, it would be considered rude not to.
Then Narga will wear this.
Okay.
I love everything about all of this. I'm really excited to see them come out in matching costumes, which will only further emphasize their BFF status.
So,
I will say Narga, like, so he puts on whatever pants are there, like the shirt. Like, if there's a cloak or something, he'll kind of like drape it over him, but not really anything on his chest. And then like, and any feathers, he just is immediately like, kind of like trying to pull off of, just out of like. It's not an embarrassment thing. It's like literally like he doesn't like they're uncomfortable to wear. Yeah.
I still love this.
okay. So as the night is wrapping to an end, Narga comes back out in his new party outfit.
And at this point, a voice will occur. And now, presenting in his utmost finery, the puppy of puppies, the savior of Anakula Wanda, whatever the heck her name was. Narga, the Demon Prince.
Oh my god.
Light flickers, light flickers.
They're either gonna think we're gods or
Narga has some corrections for whoever announced that.
You can make corrections.
Not-
If all eyes are on you currently.
Not a demon prince. Narga sometimes does not understand the peerage, but at most he's demon-like. Count? Probably more like demon baron. Maybe even demon duke.
And they have no concept of what any of those words mean because they're all English. Oh my god.
And now Narga is completely distracted, trying to figure out like where exactly, like translating
like peerage systems into demon hierarchy.
Yeah. Like, wait, what?
I need a performance roll for his storytelling abilities.
No, he's just stating facts. It's just the good, honest truth. I just love. Okay, I'm doing the illustrations for the other one. I'm just gonna turn this into a comic because him walking in and this booming light, and then it stops and it settles and everyone's staring in awe, and he's like, actually, real quick though, hold on.
Yep.
Narga refuses to put on airs.
Oh, of course.
That's what best friends are for.
Yeah. They'll make your grandiose statements for you.
Okay. So.
At some point, Narga will, like, probably 3 hours after Sim and Rose show his figure out around. Didn't you have 2 more?
2 more what? Drinks? And like 2 goblets, like just like passing both over for him to double fist.
So.
No, there was a short one and a tall one that was like kind of a watery color.
Oh yeah, your pet troll. Where did he go?
Oh my god.
About 3.5 hours in is probably so long as Spider did actually sneak out like I think he's supposed to.
I think that was his plan.
Yep, probably about when he'd be sneaking back in. I just don't know how well that went right now.
We'll talk about it later.
Does he have a fedora on his head?
Say again? Oh, I don't know if there's something on his head, actually. I need him to actually make some rules regarding that. Either way...
Is it Spider or Barrett?
Possibly both of them.
Because I can Jaeger Barrett, I just need his stats.
Okay, you want to... I'm sure Steph probably has his stats somewhere on his computer, right?
Yeah. Hold on. And it's open, so I can go here. I need...
Can't you, as the GM, see all of our cool character sheets if they're filled out, in theory?
I don't like Roll20's character sheets.
No. I like the
I
ones
can, because I am still set as GM.
Yeah, Scott probably could.
Except he never filled it out.
Oh, no.
We've actually figured out a thing. So the camera and video and stuff's being stupid, but he can listen. So he's gonna listen and he can roll and everything. And if he wants to say anything complicated, he can slide over.
If he would just sit right beside you, we could see both of your faces in one camera.
I know, but then we do the thing where we shift up and back, and
I know, but then we get to see his pretty face.
I know he has the prettier face. Chester wants to see your pretty face.
Every time he walks by, I can.
That expression. Sorry, what?
Every time he walks by in the background, it's just shoulder down,
Oh, that's true.
He's like the headless horseman tonight.
He's walking around making a lot of phone calls about stuff.
Okay, well,
we figure stuff out.
Ask him this. In assisting Spider to break into the Fletcher shop,
okay,
there is going to be basically a box with a whole assortment of hats on the counter, including a fedora, a very rakish, bard hat, a really overly feathered one. There's a woman's hat with feathers on it as well. Would he put any of them on?
I will ask. So, they can hear me.
Yeah, yes, we can.
Oh, well, there you go.
Haha.
If you
I have audio, no video.
Hey, it's better than it was.
yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Anyway, I have to mute myself though, because hearing that's awful.
We're still going to hear you through his mic. Wait, no, actually, no.
They're both. Oh, no, I guess they're not. I don't know.
I don't know.
I like the Metroid.
I do too.
I still had Renarga's voice on.
The fantasy equivalent of Edward 40 hands, by the way, is Edward 750 milliliters.
But is it like Edward Tankard hands? That's the what's the name?
You know what? I like that better. Edward Tankard hands.
Edward Tankard hands. So would you wear or put on any of the hats? That's the question. There's cool hats, there's pretty hats, there's the lady going to church with the big feathers thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say the better question is, what is the fantasy equivalent to duct tape? Because I feel like we need to buy that. Not for Edward Tankard hands, but you always need duct tape.
Yeah, I don't know. What would be the duct tape? We need an alchemist. The hat thing is the main issue at the moment. Would you put on a hat, yes or no?
Yes.
Which hat would you put on?
The most ornate.
The most ornate hat? He would, whatever the most ornate hat was, he'd try it on.
So the feathered hat, which is all full on feathered crown, would probably be the most ornate one. As the hat attempts to start chewing on his head, would you, during this whole thing, attempt to get it off or attempt to calm it down in some way so you could still wear it?
He would try to stroke the feathers to calm the hat.
All right, then I am going to need. I guess the best one would be an animal handling check, even though this is a monstrosity.
There's just a lot that this says, I think, about your personality, and I love it.
Animal handling?
Yeah,
Yep.
animal handling.
I really want
closest
you to
stat.
succeed on this because I'm delighted by the idea that we have a character who has a mimic living on their head.
I know, I want it. Please succeed. How can you fudge the numbers? Just lie. Oh, look at that! I got it at 20.
Okay, you pet the mimic. You calm it down. You probably take some rations out and slide it up for it to eat. So when Barrett walks in with Spider, he's got this ornate feathered hat on, but there's a little bit of like drool going down his face.
Delicious.
Congratulations, Barrett. You now have a pet mimic.
Yes.
Words can't express the depth of my jealousy and low-key rage that you have a mimic.
You had that chance on Saturday. You decided to run away.
No. I didn't have a chance. It was going to bite me, so I had to kill it. That's
But-
different.
It tried to bite Barrett. He was just, more resilient.
Well, it was... Shut up, I have toast now. Toast is all I need.
And toast is way better.
I love toast. You are the prettiest boy. Are you still a boy? Is he a girl still?
I'm talking to my headdress.
How did that... Oh, you're talking to the hat.
Yeah.
So you've decided this very gorgeous, ornate hat is a female, or a male.
Yeah.
You've gendered the mimic hat.
He's
There
a
we
good
go.
boy.
He's a good boy.
That's fair. Who's your good boy?
Who's your good boy?
Yep.
Just don't eat daddy's brain. Thank you.
And Barrett is back to his male dwarf self.
Okay, you are back to being a male dwarf. You can do the makeup and stuff with Spider if you want, but you're physically back to the way you were when you began the campaign.
No more bearded boobies.
I mean,
Boo! That's the best part about dwarves. All right. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, Barrett walks back in with this feathered hat on his head. The party is wrapping up to a close. Is there anything else you'd like to accomplish here before heading back to your room? Okay.
I got all the info I wanted.
Naruto
Barrett?
requests a religion check to figure out where exactly in the period she would be. Because
Go ahead.
he's literally spent the last 3 hours been distracted by
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold
and do
on.
it. Go ahead and do
You
a
are very
religion check. And Barrett, during the heist at the Fletcher, Spider did get attacked by a rug. Yeah. Full on rug wrapped around him. You tried to fight it, and then as you were hitting the rug, he was actually getting injured, but you managed to overcome it, I think?
did he die of rug burn?
No, but he does have rug burn on his arms.
Gotcha.
So Naruto realizes with a 14 that he is a knight errant of the abyss, would be his period equivalent. So technically a noble, but not no one really cares.
Would that be a noble that wasn't born into it, but knighted, rather?
No, knight
No.
errant would be more
Okay.
like the bastard kid of another noble.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay.
he's technically
Basically a
above-
Ronin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
technically above
Thank you. That's
commoner.
what I needed.
Literally,
What?
it's Ronin and knight errant being the exact same.
She's now a well-groomed, much better smelling, and fantastically
pink.
dressed knight
Yeah.
errant.
I would
Of the abyss.
genuinely, Ro would make a genuine comment that she loves your outfits and is happy to see you acclimating so well. Not necessarily that she doubted Sim, but she's just very happy that you're both having a good time.
And that hint of lavender and honey smell. Very nice.
Very nice. Very
This
nice.
is you're
actually think they
responsible for this
probably would've
uniform, so
used-
this is now the colors of our mercenary company, Commander.
No, this is our party uniform. Our day-to-day uniform can't be that. It's not. This will be our party uniform.
You have, you know, your adventuring uniform, but you also have that dress uniform. In fact,
Yeah.
Naruto
Yeah,
would
the
like to
other one
point
may
out
have
of the
been
dress uniforms, this is probably one of the more subdued.
But the other one may have been burnt, so he might just have to wear this for a while.
Fair. But
I would also say the scents used
Somebody
were probably
burn
more
Narga's clothes?
sandalwood based versus lavender based for
Okay.
Narga.
fair enough.
and that's sandalwood. Perfect. The two creatures with fur that will probably retain the smell the longest. Yes. Walking air fresheners.
Sim always smells of vanilla.
Hmm.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, so I was gonna ask, is it a Fae thing, or are you just always using a spell to make sure you smell yummy?
Well, if it's not a Fae thing, then it's specifically something Sim does.
You can also do that with Druidcraft, by the way.
Really?
Narga
I always
also
smell
has
like sandalwood.
prestidigitation, so he's constantly like taking it. Whenever he's wet, he tries to get rid of that.
Okay, less wet dog smell.
Fewer fleas this way.
I don't think he really cares about the smell, but it makes hunting work. With the excitement done, Narga will go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you get back to your room. You go to sleep. Ro, during the night, you have a tinge of something happening. You can either automatically accept it, or you could do a wisdom saving throw for me.
Is there any familiarity to it?
Kind of has like a dry, snaky feeling that you kind of associate with Llewellyn.
Okay. Would the wisdom saving throw just allow me to decide whether I accept it or not, or is that just an automatic? I'm ignoring it.
So you could do an Arcana check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Hey, Becca.
Yeah.
If this is dream, I'm not sure that's what you're doing. If this is dream, if she's not imparting a nightmare, there is no wisdom saving.
Oh, okay. Well, she's not imparting a nightmare. She doesn't want to hurt Ro.
Okay. Yeah, then she can send the
Yay.
message without problem.
Okay.
I was gonna say either way. If it's an Arcana thing, I don't think I got it.
There's something going on, but you sink into a dream, and Llewellyn is actually there in your dream at a what looks like her druid's grove that you probably have seen before when you visited.
Okay.
And she will say, hi, Ro. I hope everything's going all right.
A few surprises, but I think we've found some hints as to what's going on.
That's good. Any major progress?
I would fill her in on the princess, the hag, the child, that whole thing, how the hag escaped. And we believe that the connection to the wilds is probably what's going on, but we wanted to double check and see if there's any additional information we can get from the crazy hermit.
Okay. Well, that's good. Please continue doing that if you're able. I have some information from the conclave. Roughly 5.5 weeks from now at Twins Light, Mist seems to think that something called the Dreamer is going to assist with the Nicole Blas situation, which apparently some very large dragon who is bent on becoming a god has now taken an interest in our world. Anyhow, Mist seems to think that the Dreamer will assist with their battle against it. However, it might cause severe tidal waves.
Okay.
So you are on the other side of the mountains from us, so we'll be safe, but I don't know if your people are along the coastline or not.
technically speaking, if we want this to be accurate, they would be somewhat coastal. They'd be inland. They wouldn't be a coastal community, but they would definitely have access to the waterways.
Okay.
So
I'm going to leave that up to you to decide. But we are attempting to evacuate as many people as we can away from the coast to safer areas in the event that, because apparently we don't know exactly where the dreamer sleeps, according to Mist.
Rests, yeah.
Rests. So that's happening. If you need to take care of your people to evacuate, then I would focus on that first, because we only have 5.5 weeks before Twinslight.
Okay.
Also, apparently, the demon lord Zookdemoy's spores have made it to our world. And something called Unity is actually her spores, and people that take it become part of Zookdemoy. And the rest of the druids, along with evacuating the coast, are trying to eradicate these spores in the areas that we are responsible for.
I don't remember if Ro ever heard Narga talk about the mushrooms and that he called them Unity.
Narga doesn't know that they're called Unity.
Okay.
Narga knows
That's
what they
side
are,
character.
but he doesn't know they're called Unity. And you did definitely see him give weird, slightly cotton candy smelling mushrooms to some people.
Who
And I
then
do have
started-
some in my bag.
Yes.
Sim ate them.
Yeah, Sim ate them. I would.
The people that failed their Constitution save did start talking about being united with the universe.
Yeah, I would definitely bring that up to Llewellyn and say, "Oh, I'm not sure if that's what this is because I haven't heard it, referred to by name, but I have these here mushroom things."
That sounds very similar to what we have been seeing. Port towns seem to be more affected than other areas. If your companion that you provided you these mushrooms came in on a ship, it probably is the Unity we're trying to track down and get rid of.
Okay, what should I do? Should I tell him that these aren't things that he should be handing out and that it's possibly tied to this whole situation?
You probably will want to have a conversation with him, and to destroy it, it seems radiant energy is going to be more effective than anything else. Fire just seems to make them toasty. It doesn't actually kill the spores.
Okay.
And unless you have anything else you want to talk to her about, she will allow the spell to fade for you to finish your sleep.
Nothing in particular, other than if, she had anything else, because I've got a plan now, but
Okay.
yeah.
Nope, those were the two things she needed to bring up to another druid. Is Nicole Belass is coming. You've got 5.5 weeks to get people away from the coast, and Unity's a thing.
And the
The
fire
hot- the
just
hot
makes
new
the
drug
mushrooms tastier.
Yeah,
It's like a barbecue.
it's like a barbecue. It makes them.
It brings out the flavor.
Delicious. Now I'm hungry. Leave me alone. All I have is crackers.
Where's being Becca's food?
Don't know. All right, I need to use the head real quick. 5-minute break.
Sounds good. I'll keep eating crackers.
But if I had a boat and oceans to cross, then I would sail them. Since I have this promise to keep, I will keep you near.
Music provided by epidemic.com. You can go to that website to get music specifically designed for streams and the like that are good to go for streaming purposes.
We'll stay with you until the
Thank you for the ambiance music during our break.
I'm all about the production values. I also properly credit it because I believe in proper credits.
Okay. Everyone ready?
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
So the following morning, you wake up from your dream. Your companions are still around you. As part of your hotel service, there is a knock on the door with breakfast, as there was the morning before. And the breakfast is tailored to your group as to what the staff has managed to gather what each of you like, including some ceramic bowls for Sim.
Little road biscuits.
You can't get this stuff where I'm from. But this is quality stuff.
It's a delicacy.
It is.
Fair. I feel like your mimic could probably just have jerky and regular food.
Oh yes, your mimic is still there, probably snuggled up against your neck during the night.
Gnawing on bones.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna? Okay.
Anakuana would actually initiate, given the chance.
Sim's gonna want to turn down a princess.
Okay.
Why are you so quiet?
Who?
Did I mute?
Who's muted?
I don't know. Just sounded really soft for a minute. Okay, I think I might have bumped it. Never mind. Ignore me.
Remember earlier when you muted me accidentally?
That was a genuine accident mute. I clicked on it. This was I'm dumb and just bumped into this.
Okay. So, yeah, in their society, it's not looked down on, so she would initiate given the chance, with being how much she loved your performance.
You know,
Such a roadie.
Yeah.
pretty much.
She's gonna want to travel with and carry your loot for you. Didn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, no.
Roadies are
She's gonna.
useful. Groupies are not.
That's how we get the cool tour bus.
Fair.
All right. So, morning comes, food is delivered. Sim, I don't know if you chose to spend the night or not.
You know, if it was a nicer bed than I had elsewhere, why not?
Well, you don't have to share it with Narga, Ro, or Barrett, or Spider.
Exactly. So probably.
Probably.
All right, so for Sim's morning, you're woken up, and again, food is presented as well as coffee and other things before Anakuana says thank you, and then says, "I'm sorry, I have to deal with some other things. I hope to see your next performance." And
I'll send you a flyer.
yes, and she will leave.
Here's my CD.
Yeah, basically,
Whoa, those aren't free.
probably one of the least awkward, like, one night stand mornings possible. You get food. She says she has to go take care of, business stuff.
It's like
Take
a win-win.
your time and thank you and hope to see your next show. And she leaves.
I like it. Wish they all worked that well. So yeah, I guess I'll meander my way over to where the other ones are working on their breakfast, and come in and start partaking of the ceramic bowls that were sponsored specifically for Sam.
Yep.
I'll probably even comment about how this is so much better than what they feed the princess. They brought all these like really expensive fruits and vegetables. Like those are some kind of fancy big thing.
They probably did also have grains, which goats do absolutely love grains.
I probably filled my pockets on the way out.
Probably. All right. What would you guys like to do?
Well, knowing that this tidal wave situation is happening, the way I'm picturing the map with what we've got going on Saturdays, at least 2 of the 4 big cities for Niti would be coastal and need to be moved. So she would.
Pretty much every big city in this world is a coastal city. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she would, they're not the main one, but they're 2 of the big 4. So she would know that she definitely needs to do something about that.
Yay, our
Spider's
resident
here.
thief is
Yay!
back.
There we go.
All right.
So what's up with the waving?
I'm not a plumber. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
It's fine.
All right. Let's catch Spider up a little bit. That way you guys can have the full-on discussion regarding the tidal waves. Spider, when you do your heist, because unfortunately, the time frame didn't really work out great, Narga did a light show which provided excellent cover and distraction since he blinded most of the people for you to sneak out with Barrett.
Perfect.
When you get into the Fletcher shop, you do have to dodge some crossbow bolts that you knew were angled.
Okay.
There is a box full of hats on the counter.
Of what's?
Hats. Including fedoras,
Oh.
a rakish, bard hat. There was a feathered thing. There was.
I heard cats.
No, hats. With an H.
Cats on the counter.
So when you walk in with the hats, Barrett puts on the very, very feathered one.
Okay.
And starts. Barrett, are you available to describe your interaction with your hat?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay, then. Yeah, I put on the hat and it latched onto my skull like a crazed weasel, to which my response was to use animal handling and to gently stroke the feathers of the headdress, therefore calming it and feeding it with the few grains I had in my pocket, effectively taming it and having a pet mimic.
At least partially tamed at the moment.
Partially. Don't make him angry or insult him.
I'm actually trained in animal handling, so I will assist you from time to time as needed.
Okay. At some point, the rug that you had seen earlier, when you accidentally step on it, does wrap around you.
I was going to say, looking for a second mimic.
It does start smothering you, and as Barrett attempts to assist, any damage done to the rug, half of it seems to be transferred to you.
Sure.
At this point, other than fighting the rug and getting yourself out of it, is there anything you would like to do to resolve the rug situation?
So, when he adopted the hat, which happened before the rug, correct?
Yes, that happened before the rug.
He tamed the hat. Do we have any reason to know that it's a mimic, or can I dumbly assume that it is an animated hat?
You could do a nature check to determine if it's an animated hat or if it's something else.
All right. Not my big skill, but I rolled well. No, I didn't.
It seems to be a hat that oddly drools on your companion's head.
That is a very strange hat. Okay, cool. So I suspected the rug was fishy before we got there because I noticed it moving last time.
Right.
So I will attempt to grapple with the rug.
Okay.
Reverse its hold on me. Wrap it up.
Hold on you. Okay, so
Roll it up the other direction.
all right. First, I need you to do a strength check to escape its grapple.
Strength or athletics?
I will allow athletics. Okay, yeah, so you escape it, and now you need to try to grapple it. So go ahead and... This one, also an athletics check. It's going to be opposed athletics. And... No, okay, so you successfully roll it up the other way.
Try to get something to tie it up with.
Okay.
Tie it at both ends, once in the middle.
I am guessing Barrett is helping you.
Oh, that would be great. I actually have a ball of string. I'll tie it up like a rug.
Okay. All right, so it is going to thrash a bit. It is going to have one more chance to escape.
Okay.
Which it does not succeed, so you tie up that rug.
Okay. Well, I'll try to get it to calm down. Shh, we're not going to hurt you. Good rug.
Okay, because of what it is, you can do an Arcana check to try to calm it down.
Awkward.
Because you are using...
This isn't my first rodeo with a rug.
I was going to say you got to add your proficiency modifier, but you don't need it. All right, so you successfully calmed the rug down.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll get the rug calm and proceed to looting the place, but we'll come back for the rug if it behaves itself.
Okay, that's weird. Okay.
You guys are gonna walk
Try to
out of
ride
the
the magic carpet.
All right, please say that again. Sorry.
Oh, going to leave the carpet tied up on the floor for now, with assurances that we'll be back. It's okay. We're going to finish looting the place, and we'll come back for the rug.
Okay. Underneath where the rug originally was is a hatch. Behind the counter, you can find silver arrows. You can find arrows that add extra fire damage. You can find a longbow that does plus 1d6 fire damage.
So let me see, where is that thing here? Fortunately, trolls make great thieves because I can carry one size category larger when carrying things. So I'm taking it all.
Okay.
Broad shoulders.
All right, I will message you a full list then.
Okay.
This week. Do you choose to go down the hatch or do
yeah.
Okay. It is locked.
Okay. I will pull out my trusty picks and have a go at it.
I'm gonna ready my bow. right before he opens it.
All right, so you hear a very satisfying click as you unlock that latch.
All right. I'll, before I open it, take a look, make sure there's not a tripwire or something like that. With my awesome investigation skill, no doubt.
All right, give me that investigation.
That's not my thing. I need to get that skill. Minor oversight.
All right, now because you specifically said you were looking for a tripwire, you do find one.
Okay.
And you can use your thieves' tools to deftly.
Snip it.
Yeah.
Or tie it elsewhere or whatever. Okay. I'll disarm that and open the door.
All right, so the hatch goes down. Doesn't seem to go down to like a cellar or something like that. It seems to go down to some sort of tunnel that leads away.
Ooh, an escape route.
Mm-hmm.
Barrett, did you want to take the escape route?
After you.
All right, let's get a rug.
We bringing this rug with us?
Oh, yeah. I know a duchess would pay a fortune for this.
Let's tie it down a little bit more before I decide to strap this on my back.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I actually do have some silk rope, so we'll use that. I'll
I
be
have the wire from my
talking to it like a frisky horse.
Okay, so I am going to need to figure out how well the knots are done. It's an intelligence.
It's an intelligence sleight of hand check, usually.
All right, thank you. I need an intelligence sleight of hand check.
Okay.
If you're proficient in sleight of hand, you can add your proficiency modifier to it as well.
That is good. So.
Hold on a second.
We're not tight. Barrett, do you want to assist me?
Okay. Just a moment.
So do I get advantage for assistance?
This,
Or did he fail too? No, he got it.
Barrett did great. Barrett seems to.
Push me out.
this is not my first trap.
Yeah, just one question with your sleight of hand. What is your dex modifier versus your intelligence modifier?
My intelligence modifier is -1. My dex is +4.
Okay, how about Barrett?
Sorry, Dex is +2, Intelligence is -1.
Okay.
I think I'm
Still-
actually.
We are the
No, that's right,
smartest
okay.
party of all time, by the
Yeah.
way.
It's true.
Barrett, you're still able to make the knots tight enough where you think the rug's not going to be able to get out of it without outside assistance.
Just keep that hat away from the rug. We don't want them working together.
All right.
Yeah, you may want to carry this.
I'll carry it.
All right, so the hatch leads down to a dark tunnel. You can feel the kind of dry stone walls around you. It takes you to the very edge of the city before it comes out next to the river.
This is a smuggler's tunnel. Wonder what they smuggle.
Strange hats and rugs. Flying carpets, maybe.
Maybe. That probably means that the guild's going to be looking for us. There's some kind of guild, I think, locally. I mean, probably. I don't know about those things.
I will say, Spider, as you turn back around, there is Thieves' Cant next to the entrance.
What's it say?
It basically says it's
A smuggler's tunnel.
yeah, Smuggler's Tunnel. That's basically what it says, Smuggler's Tunnel.
Yeah, huh, how about that? Okay, well, yeah, people will be mad at us, so let's go back.
All right.
Creep back in the tunnel.
Are you heading back to the party or back to the hotel?
Let's ditch our stuff at the hotel.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
and then go back to the party.
All right. I will need stealth checks from the both of you to get back in,
Okay.
unless you have some sort of signal to Narga or Sim to create another distraction.
Well, I left that window propped open, so that'll be my first attempt.
Okay.
Try to time the patrols and boost him up through the window and climb up after him.
All right. Stealth
Definitely gonna
check
need a
from the both
boost.
of you. Okay. Yeah, you managed to get back. You're both a little worse for the wear, and Barrett has a fantastic feathered hat on as you walk back into the party.
Fabulous is the correct word.
Yes.
Fabulous.
All right. So the party continues. It draws to an end. You go back to the hotel. Following morning, Ro. It is now after your dream, and food is delivered, and coffee, the glorious, glorious nectar that is coffee.
So are we leaving today?
That's my plan, yes.
Okay, when are we going?
Narga feels that would be a good plan.
Yes. We can leave as soon as we're all gathered. Sim would be back by now, yeah? He came back when we were having breakfast. Decisive things. Okay, thanks. There we go. Yeah, so since everyone's together, we can pack up and leave now. I need to go back.
Ketchup, Narga lost track of you last night. What did you get up to last night?
Who? Me? Nothing.
No, Ketchup. I don't
oh.
care what you did.
I was gonna say, I was at the party all night. You saw me.
There are witnesses. Lots
That's
of
right,
witnesses.
Narga did
Made
see
sure
you.
people
That's
saw
right.
us.
Yeah. No, I don't know if ketchup. There we go.
I didn't-
Dwarf man, I like your
I
hat.
figured
by
you
the way.
didn't hear. Narga has a question for you.
Ketchup, where did you go? We did not come back to home base.
Me?
This is bad strategy.
Well, someone had to pay off your spa fees. That wasn't free, you know. I love you, my friend, but I can't just steal things and make them come out of thin air.
that would
Narga
not
was
be right.
told that was a ritual, that if he refused, there was going to be problem. Was Narga lied to? Does Narga need to show what happens when one lies to a knight errant of the abyss?
Oh, puppy, it's okay. Just relax. All proper rituals were definitely observed last night, I promise.
All right, since everyone's all caught up, well, if everybody's good to leave today, that's the plan. I'm going to go back. For now, we'll pretend the direction's west. I need to consult a map. I forget. Because I would want to go to the. Well, I don't know what direction would be. The southernmost of the four.
I think it's east. I really do need to get a map to you guys. I just have to finish making it. I'm sorry.
No worries. I'm just. Yeah, the Niti civilization is 4 cities, north, south, east, west, and the capital's in the center. Wherever you want to put that on a map, I'm super fine with it. I would just go to whatever the closest of those coastal cities would be to warn them about the oncoming tidal wave and tell everyone basically to evacuate to the capital.
Wait, there's a tidal wave?
Oh yeah, you missed that. I had a dream.
I had a dream too.
I'm not crazy.
So, if there's going to be a really big wave, I've heard about this cool sport on this world called surfing. I really think this could be our opportunity to catch a good time. We should try that. Where's
Sounds fun.
I'm getting flashbacks to my childhood in Hawaii and everybody deciding to go and surf the waves when. Anyway,
I was
so
hoping that Barrett was going to jump in on that with me, but you know.
yeah. No, I don't know.
I have
The
a
dwarf.
carpet we can use. That would be most excellent.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
All right.
we went shopping early this morning before you guys woke up.
Yeah,
Oh.
we heard about this surfing tournament in about 5 weeks.
And you guys went You went shopping and then came back and went back to sleep, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
When
Anyway,
else
you
would
guys
they go?
sleep.
And Naruto saw them all night last night. At least that's what they said.
What did you guys buy for Narga at the store? Did you get him some treats? You know he's cantankerous on the road without treats.
Naruto is actually full for once.
I'll bet he is.
Okay.
Naruto feels like he is missing a joke.
That's okay. It's probably not a particularly funny one. Don't worry about it, Narga. Let's just pack up and head out. And on the way, oh, sorry, but
No.
as
As you're packing, the rug is actually kind of like
flopping.
flopping.
Yeah.
Is there a body in there? Here.
No, I'll take the rug. No,
Naruto has
it's okay.
definitely participated in such things. It's usually best if you punch it a few times.
Oh no.
Then
I won this in a card game early this morning when we went out shopping for some things.
Huh? You had a busy morning.
Yeah, I'm a night owl.
Nobody.
You want a hostage in a rug?
On this, right?
Naruto feels this is not a good prize to win.
Can I make
No,
an
it's-
insight check? Because they didn't tell Ro, but
Yeah,
she's.
no, go right ahead. Do an insight check
No,
against
Naruto
Spider's
legitimately
deception.
is confused.
I probably won't succeed, but Ro would just be like, "You're really insistent that you did all of this morning."
I'm with
Oh
Narga.
God, I believe you. No.
Well, I don't know.
No, he is being shady. He is being very suspicious.
All right. To be fair, I don't care, like at all. But I'm just like, I know you're lying. Next time, just tell me what you're doing.
I'm just saying we need to leave town really soon.
Okay.
Naruto will
fine.
actually.
I need-
Dargo will actually
Next
like
time you
go
guys
up
go
to the
get
rug and
break
punch it a few times, like go to like in mimicking previous things Narga has done, like go to sleep.
Can I push him to
Go
the
to
side
sleep.
and say, stand back as I try the same animal handling that I used on my mimic on the rug?
I thought you were going to use it on him.
Does Narga resist being shoved to the side?
No.
Okay, then, yeah, attempt an
He's
animal
enamored with it.
handling, but instead, I think it's wisdom normally. It has to be your intelligence modifier, because this is not actually an animal. So instead of your...
Oh boy.
Yeah. So you're going to roll a d20, do your intelligence modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Intelligence is -1.
Have fun. Go roll that.
Well, that's why I wanted to do.
So while he's doing that, Sim is going to be letting Spider know he's kind of deeply offended that he wasn't invited to the gambling den for guys' night. He really feels that Narga and him would have been a great benefit to any card games that they had going on, and that this isn't going to be a slight that he forgets anytime soon.
I was gonna say, to be fair, the distraction is a very legitimate position in poker dance.
I would also like to say that if like it doesn't look like the thing calms down at all, Naruto will switch tactics from hitting it. Like Naruto will set the rug on fire and like firebolt right next to it and try to use intimidate. Like he's actually trying to intimidate the body that's in the rug because Naruto still doesn't get it. But
Go ahead and roll an intimidation check for me then, and I'm going to calculate that with Barrett's animal handling.
Do I have a spell that could make all of this stop? Because we'll be here forever. Hold on.
So the rug seems to calm down for a second and like shifts, like wiggles away from where the firebolt happens. It's a little hard to tell though if you've managed to convince it to just like calm the fuck down.
What's the spell I use to knock out the girl? Would that work? Can I just knock the consciousness out of it? I'm just wondering.
I'm having troubles hearing you.
didn't you use sleep?
You could try sleep.
Sleep won't work on an animated object.
Yeah, you could try it. It's not going to work.
I don't know. I actually don't even see sleep. Where I mean, Ro can't really do anything more than everyone else is, I think, already doing. So she'll just sit back, I guess, and wait till they're done, because, God, if she leaves them alone, they'll burn the whole place down. And apparently I'm now in negotiations for, like, a treaty with these people, so fine, I'll just make sure they don't wreck the room. I'm just babysitting. Don't set anything but the rug on fire.
All right. So at the moment, the rug is shifted off to the side from where Narga fire bolted the floor.
Narga, don't hurt the rug.
How does one hurt a rug? I'm hurting the person inside the rug.
No, it's a magic rug. There's no person.
You have a magic rug? Does it fly? Let's
I don't
untie
know
it.
yet.
What is
We have to
the
make friends
purpose
with
of
it
a
first.
magic rug?
So it literally says, let's untie it and see, and starts reaching for the rope.
Whoa, wait a second. We might have found it from some people that previously owned it, so we need to leave town before we do that.
Oh, were they good?
Seriously, what is the purpose of a magic rug? They just kind of flop there.
To sell it to someone who likes magic rugs.
Does it have any martial capability?
I don't know. I just found it. Borrowed it.
This
You
morning.
happened upon it.
You
Bought it,
happened
wanted
upon
to
a
put it
magic
on,
rug this
found
morning.
it.
I rolled a 5, alright? So yeah, we should leave.
Narga is good with that. He will actually take the rug and flip it.
All right, Ro, with that, you recognize that this is probably an animated rug. It probably does fly, which means if you can get it to actually take you, it's going to cut your travel time of months down to days to get back to Needy.
Can we all fit on the rug?
So, Spider's going to be a problem because he's big.
This is
Big
Narga.
boy.
Yeah.
Do I have a thing to make him not big?
I don't know.
You're a woman, of course you do.
Cold water.
Come on.
I would say Narga's
on.
still, like, he has it on his shoulder and he still doesn't quite get it. So every once in a while,
Trolls
he
shrink.
will just go ahead and, like, punch the rug every time it's really wiggly.
Scott, could you do me a favor and turn your volume up?
So, yeah, every time that it starts wiggling, Narga still doesn't get it and will just punch the rug as hard as he can.
Okay. Are you attempting to do damage, or are you just thumping
Trying
it?
to subdue it.
He's not holding back.
All right, go ahead and roll an attack then.
How heavy is the rug?
Probably around 20 to 25 pounds.
I'll immediately tell Spider, like, hey, so this is an animated item. If we can calm it, but we need to stop all this nonsense and think logically, which is not everyone's forte, but we can try.
17 to hit.
Yes, 17 hits.
Lean into to Spider and say, I could be.
Roll damage, please.
You don't roll damage for unarmed strike, so 4 damage.
I can't.
Okay.
I'm sure that was a sick bird, Chester, but I didn't hear it.
I didn't catch the end of it.
Between each punch, I'm gonna try to attempt a just get a few pets in to continue to soothe it as it's pain.
All right, go
Literally
ahead
beat
and
it.
roll for it then.
You're basically using arc techniques of beat it unconscious, then be nice to it, and then it loves you. It's working really well for you.
It starts thrashing around pretty violently.
Hey, stop hitting it.
I'll tell everyone just step away from the rug, put it on the ground, and stop touching it. I don't know if anyone will listen to me. I doubt it. But I'll
Why?
try.
Why is Narga going to let the rug? We have Narga has hostage. This is what Narga was trained to do when has hostage.
In this case, it's not a hostage. We're going to try, let's say, negotiating with the rug. But I don't think that chat will go well if we keep punching it and setting it on fire and trying to intimidate it. I think it's already scared of you. You just need to give me a second with Spider. Maybe we can figure something out.
I don't know,
Narga
Miss
is so
Kettle,
confused
we do
as to
really well
use
when you're
the
mean
rug,
to us.
but Narga trusts Lizard Woman and will actually, like, unceremoniously, actually kind of body slam the rug into the ground.
Okay. So, Spider, if you want to try again, calmly, just, I don't know, just not BDSMing the rug. We could figure something out.
All right. Spider will approach the rug again.
Okay.
The weirdness with my mic is my volume thing, by the way.
And start petting it. So was that a nature check or an arcana check, you said?
So you can do an Arcana check.
Okay.
I want to try just in the background doing that shushing thing people do to horses, like, shh, 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 it's okay, it's okay. Like, I don't know if that's animal handling or not, but I'll try that.
It is trying to inchworm its way to the door.
I'm petting it and shushing it, like, shh, it's okay, we just want to talk.
Sim's
Alright.
gonna play the infamous snake trimming song that the old cartoons do.
Yes.
Alright. So,
Animal handling!
okay, so the rug is like curled up against Ro's feet and will actually like squiggle its way behind her feet anytime the rest of you come close.
Alright, so everybody stop scaring the rug. It's showing a personality, so I'm attached now. You stop being mean to it. I'll continue trying to calm it and shush it, see if it stops shaking in fear as an inanimate object that's now animate, you psychos. Oh, you can tame a hat with teeth, but not a rug. Just love this.
I'm just gonna sit back and continue to pet and stroke my glorious headdress.
I will occasionally reach
As I
over and
step
pet it as
away.
well. I'm a little jealous of your hat, dude.
Look out, he bites.
Want to try it on?
Come on, I'm his Uncle Spider.
Alright, well, once everyone's calm, if I can convince the rug that Spider won't hurt it, since he's the biggest, I'll just have Spider carry it, and we can check out of the hotel and get out of town and figure out the sitch from there. But
Alright.
priority.
I will say, because you managed to roll a not natural, but a 20 on your calming the rug, as you talk to it, you can convince it to allow Spider to carry it and get the fuck out of town.
Okay.
What a good rug.
Oh, who's
You're
a
the
good
best
rug? He is. Who's so pretty? Alright. Yes, we'll get out of town. If we don't encounter anything, once we're on the outskirts of town, maybe I could say, so let me talk to the rug again. We can unravel the rug and I can see if I can communicate with it to see if it can fly a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and
Well-
attempt on.
We'll stand back.
Go ahead and attempt an Arcana check.
Oh god, my Arcana. Ugh.
I will allow if I was gonna say, because
Yeah.
you're trying to like negotiate with it, instead of Arcana, you could just do a straight Wisdom check.
Okay, I'll take it.
Oh, Sim, on the other hand,
Will Sim share this information though? That's always the question. You're muted.
On it. All right. So, in the vein of Sim's personality, if I can do anything, you can do better.
Yes.
He is totally going to tap in with
Yep.
his expertise knowledge here and instruct on precisely how to properly address the animated carpet and coax it into flying in a controlled manner.
Hey,
Because that sounds totally like something Fairy Magic would do, would be to animate objects and make it do things.
and give them personalities.
Yep. So, Sim, you recognize there are symbols on the rug that a person can actually focus on and basically say the phrase to attune to this rug, which will then not only act as a flying rug, but it will actually act as a trap of sorts. Like you can lay it in front of you while you
A
sleep,
trap? That's so weird.
and it will attempt to smother anybody that like comes close to you while you're resting or your shop or something like that. So, if Ro is able to properly say the phrase.
So now that I know that, instead I'm actually gonna like flat out demonstrate how this is done. Like just to really
I was just gonna say, let the rug decide.
better I am at all this.
Let the rug decide who it wants to go with.
Like a surfboard, since we talked about surfing, and focus on the control for flight and proceed to surf around on this thing. And then, provided that's successful, he's going to teach Ro how to do it, but show her the other marks instead and watch it trap her.
I would insight because he's showing me something different than what he already demonstrated to work.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, insight versus deception.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna get it, but yeah.
No. Okay, and
I have a really quick question just in
I
regards
would-
to the campaign. This is out of character. How necessary is Sim to the rest of this story? Because Ro would 100% be super down with leaving his ass here and just going. Like, she's so
I would say, like, Narga fully believes Sim at this point and really wants to fly, so he might actually be, like, excited and run up and, like, activate it before Ro can for the trap.
okay, well in that case,
it's cutting in line.
initiative checks from Ro and Narga.
This is. Of course! There's my 20!
They both really want it.
We both rolled nat 20s on this. This was the...
Narga's gonna burn the carpet.
We both really want to fly.
All right, so Narga.
I want to save my people. Sim's just a butt.
All right, so Narga, does a 16 hit your armor class?
Oh, definitely.
All right, so
I'd like to point
you're
out.
grappled. The rug wraps around you.
I will go ahead and use my reaction cast shield. So, like it would
He's
have.
gonna burn the rug.
You shouldn't have
No,
tricked him
actually,
then.
Narga is like so delighted he's distracted. He doesn't have his reaction. He'd be surprised by it. So yeah, he doesn't have his reaction. So yeah, you can't do that.
No.
Okay, so yeah, Narga is engulfed by the rug.
Ooh, it doesn't
Sim
like
is
him.
just laughing hysterically now.
I
There is
mean,
no doubt that Sim
you
Can I
do
take my actual action now?
I was gonna say, can I try and pull the rug off of him? Or coerce it? Like, hey.
Because this rug is dead.
You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And like I say, that was the trap portion of it. Okay, so yeah, it goes after Ro. Ro, you're next.
Well, no, I haven't taken my action right.
Yeah, no. Go ahead, take your reaction.
My action is going to be inflict wounds at 2nd level, empowered, with advantage.
Okay.
on an inanimate object. Yes.
Does that count? Because it's still technically animate.
13 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Barrett's gonna try to shield the mimic's eyes from what's going on, or what he.
I'm gonna re-roll the
attempts to
3
his mimic's
and
eyes.
because that's what empowered does, and then the last D10. And we'll see if I have to reroll that one too. I'll take that. So that's actually 16, 23, 28 points of necrotic damage to this thing.
All right. So, according to the way this is actually phrased, damage transfer. While it is grappling a creature, the rug takes only half the damage dealt to it, and the creature grappled by the rug takes the other half. So you take 14 necrotic, and it takes 14 necrotic.
I just want to point out that we're about to lose a magic flying rug, and that the only person that could possibly be blamed for this is Sim.
I'd like to
burn him and bury him with the rug.
I'd like to point out.
Yes.
I'd like to point out that I paid an extraordinary amount of money at this card game that I found it at.
I would also like to point out Narga is currently at 3 hit points.
Can I heal Narga? Can I see Narga?
No,
If you
I'm
get
wrapped
Narga
up in this.
killed, Sim, I will legit murder you. He's my favorite. I'm playing favorites here.
Could I have initiative checks from Sim, Spider, and Barrett, just in case you want to do something?
I keep saying I want to do the trap, but I keep getting stepped on because your mics are all louder than mine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the one time you're kind of quiet. I wonder why. Maybe because you don't actually want to do that. You little chaos machine.
That's the role.
I know.
Just playing his character, gosh.
I'm just playing my character, guys.
That's what his character would do.
No.
It was just supposed to be an innocent prank.
No, I know. It just caught the wrong person. If it had caught me, it would have just been pride hurt.
Right?
But you caught the quite literally explosive one.
Okay.
You hurt my puppy. Smash it.
Ro, you are next.
So can I either try and soothe and open the rug? Or if it doesn't look like that's possible, can I reach in and pat Narga to make sure he's okay and cast Cure Wounds?
Okay.
Both of those things would require visual. The way smothering rug works, you can't see
Yeah.
me.
Okay, so then I'll try and coax the rug open, and I'll explain that it was tricked by the goat gentleman that was just riding it, and that the person currently wrapped up in it isn't actually a threat.
All right, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
That's a nice fat 0.
13 actually is enough.
Yay! Thank
So
God.
you managed to pull the rug back enough that Narga can breathe.
Good.
And you've got the rug in your hands. It's kind of flailing about.
Yeah.
And
Rug. I just want it happy. I want it to feel happy and safe, and you're ruining it.
unless there's something else you want to do, it is now Spider's turn while you've got a floppy rug in your hand.
Yeah, I want to talk to it and try and calm it down.
I'll pick up Narga and carry him off to the side. Ostensibly to make sure he's not hurt, but really to keep him away from the carpet. Hey, buddy, are you all right?
The carpet is fucking dead.
Okay. It would now be the rug's turn, and unfortunately, because it is still under its trap thing, it's going to attempt to smother Ro.
Yeah. That's
Just wants to hug her.
Yeah, it just wants a hug.
It's a hugger.
I'm interpreting
Pretty
this.
sure that misses. It attempts to hug you. It like wraps around you a little bit. Depending on how you interpret it, it might seem to be loving.
I would legit still just be trying to calm it. Like it wraps around me, and I'll kind of like fold my arms over the part that's wrapped around me and like pet at it.
Okay. Sim, you are up next.
Sim, while still laughing hysterically, is like, fine, let me show you this one more time. Pay attention this time. And I will change the commands for the flight option and jump on and again do a little surfing thing and come down and like park it right beside Ro and step down and be like, "It's not that hard. Would you like to try?"
Hold on. I'm trying to find the right spell to cast on you. just give me a sec. So, just real quick. I'm trying to decide what's fitting. Damn it! I don't really have anything. That's so sad.
Scott?
Damn it. The most I could think of is hold person, and that's not as fun. I was hoping I'd have something like to mute him, anything to shut him up, but damn it.
No, silence is a spell that the desert druids get, not any of the others.
That's okay. I can't really do it as an actual human being in the real world, but the most hateful glare. Like, can you stop agitating the rug, please? Could you not?
The rug is not agitated at all. Look,
It was because you lied.
it flew very nicely for me.
It did because you did the right thing. You were
See?
showing us how to do the wrong thing. I actually will reach out and smack you on the back of the head like a child, like, stop it. I'll leave it at that, and then I'll just ignore everything else you're saying. But that's what I'll do. Not enough to hurt you, but my point.
I'll at you for striking me.
I don't care. Okay.
Smack his horns.
Does Puppy growl at her because she struck me in front of him?
I'm not sure. He walked away
Puppy's
from the
gone.
keyboard.
And I'm trying to block his view anyway.
Yeah. So there you go. He didn't see.
You're a horrible sibling.
Oh my god, I'm definitely more the mother character. All right, so the rug's working now, but we know it's not big enough for Spider.
Spider's pretty big. You might be able to if Ro polymorphs into something small.
Okay, I can do that.
Maybe might be able to use it with all 5 of you.
I definitely have a vast variety of smaller shapes. I could just be a rat or something.
I'm
Or I could
not
be a bird.
entirely sure what's going on right now, but there is no way Narga's getting on that rug right now.
I know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
All right, so that's the next trial is convincing Narga to trust the rug again after it tried to smother him.
Maybe we should walk for a while and try
Yeah, I
the
was
rug
just gonna
later.
say let's walk for a while. We can have the rug flying or rolled up and just carried, whatever, and just start walking in that direction. And slowly, I'll explain to Narga that the rug didn't do that consciously. It was triggered through the runes. It was a trap that Sim thought would be oh so funny. But if you do the right thing, it will just fly and won't
But
trap you
Ketchup
unless
would not
Sim
do that to
activates it on
Narga.
you because he's a
Ketchup
mean
is Narga's BFF.
He is, but he does have a sense of humor that isn't necessarily in line with, let's just say, your well-being.
So you are saying Narga needs not to fear rug, but to eat ketchup.
I wouldn't say eat him. You could if you want. I mean, I don't care. But what I would really say is maybe just don't always trust when he says that a thing is really safe, or like you can check with one of us and we'll let you know if we think the rug is acting strange or if Sim's nearby and seeming more mischievous than usual. I think if we get him drunk or high, he'll calm down. That seems to be.
Narga has a word of getting him high, and then he brings out some mushrooms.
Or whenever Sim decides he's going to teach our fearless leader a lesson, let her learn the lesson intended for her, not precious puppy.
But no.
All right, Scott, check your audio.
What about
I
it?
feel like I was even being braggadocious about it. You punishing the pride as the Fae thing doesn't apply to this, but I get what you're saying. There's no fearless leader bullshit. Don't have any of that. Let me see what else. No, so I guess that's it, honestly. Just trying to convince Narga that the rug is okay so long as some people aren't feeling more mischievous than usual. And if he wants to give Sim a mushroom.
Sim is totally demonstrating how awesome the rug can be.
I'm ignoring him.
Full disclosure, I mean, I totally knew it was a trap. I had no idea that it could fly.
You knew it was a trap.
Well, yeah, I disarmed it.
Naruga is confused as to how much you get up to in the morning.
I don't have a timepiece, so the time was flexible.
Hey,
I
Barrett.
wasn't tired.
Barrett, you got any booze? I just suddenly feel like getting really wasted.
Did you just ask a dwarf if he has booze?
Yeah, that's why I asked you. Oh shoot, it's echoing. We can't both have mics on at the same time.
I toss a full bottled pint to her.
Okay, I'm just whatever it is I'm drinking. Not necessarily to get drunk, to numb the pain. You know.
Is that the fermented fruit or the rotten grain pipe? Somebody's muted.
I can never tell if he's muted or not. I don't know, don't care. I'm just drinking it. Do you want some?
The Narga losing control is probably not a good idea.
Fair enough. I guess we're just walking right now.
Seems fine.
I guess we're just walking right now. Surfing. I hate you. I take back what I was talking about earlier. If anyone wants to kill him, super fine with it. Narga, do you want a snack? I'll help you. I could trap him, and then you just have to slit his throat and barbecue him. You're fine.
That is super violent.
People eat goat, right? That's the thing?
Goat is really like greasy and gross. Narga is not happy eating goat.
Damn. We could get actual ketchup for ketchup, and then he'd...
However, if one were to cook it properly,
Damn, I'm on the wrong character. I can't make jerky out of him.
his eyes kind of flare up.
Or his eyes kind of flare up and like looking at anything to create a nice fire.
Okay, not really, but I appreciate it, Narga. Alright.
Narga looks crestfallen. Narga really doesn't like being smothered.
Fair. I mean, that's kind of all I got until either Narga starts to trust the rug or something else happens. I don't think I have anything to send a message to Llewellyn on my own. Yeah, that's later level.
Animal.
Other than a flying goat.
Where are we
I
going?
trust him, but I can't.
Naruga is confused. Where are we going?
Yeah, where are we going?
So I don't know which one because map situation, but we're going to the nearest city of my country, culture, whatever, to let them know about the tidal wave situation so that they can tell everyone else to evacuate and then we can get back to work.
Oh, you were serious about that?
A little water never hurt anyone. What is the big deal?
The problem is it's not a little water, it's a lot of water. And they're not all super... Huh?
And we're gonna surf it all.
Wait, well, lizards swim though, right?
Did you just call me a lizard?
Aren't you a lizard?
Damn it.
Lizard lady on your screen in his.
I have Lizard Lady on there because that's all you would call me for the first session. You jerk. It's your fault. What? Oh, it's only... I'm assuming they're further than 25 miles, right? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the closest thing I have then is Animal Messenger. Just send a message and keep this shorter, but that's the most I have.
If Ketchup and Lizard Lady can promise Naruga is not going to suffocate again, he is willing to get back on the rug.
You could actually have Narga attuned to the rug, and then that wouldn't be a problem.
Naruga is
I
not
promise
going
to
to
not
attune to that rug.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if Narga wants to attune to it, I would say absolutely. it's Sim that you need to get the promise from, and I would detail that he won't use the rug to hurt or bother any of us, because then he'll just do it to someone else instead. So, Sim, do you think you can reassure Narga that you won't do this again?
See, Narga, as I was saying, the symbols on the left are for flying.
That isn't what you were saying, though. You specified that you lied and said the other thing.
No, I specified I deceived you.
What do you think lie means?
You don't play enough with fairies, do you? Anyway,
How many fairies do you play with in a day, Chester?
so
All of them?
Faye can't lie, Miss Druid. So what I did was I said to activate the rug, left, right, and there's your deception.
Cool.
Now,
So
hey,
you're
that's
telling
pretty
us the
clever.
truth now?
And
You're telling us the truth now, then?
Now we are teaching Narga the correct. If you need to trap someone else, the symbol's on the right. If you want to fly, the symbol's on the left.
So, your people are fairly wealthy, right? They'd probably reward us for warning, right?
I don't need a reward for doing what's right for my people.
No, I imagine you wouldn't. I was just thinking your employees, you know.
You guys,
Yes,
you're
Narga
already
would
on
like
my payroll.
to ask about the possibility of maybe comp 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 payment for services rendered.
Yeah, I can pay. Sorry.
Yeah, the rest of them are not aware that you got paid because they were not in the room when
Yeah,
you
that's
got paid. Barrett is aware.
Whatever.
Yeah, I can pay you guys for your work with me thus far. Same standard rate if you'd like to come with me in this. If not, we can go our separate ways.
What
Don't
is
expect
standard
a
rate?
substantial reward for my people other than their gratitude, though.
My lieutenants need to be paid. Kind of indicates everybody else.
Yeah, I would pay everybody.
You're not.
Standard rate.
You said you weren't paying Sim,
When did I say that?
like the first session.
Because you didn't
that's
hire
Because
them.
Sim is not
Yeah, I
like
didn't
Sim
hire
is
you. You
literally a
agreed to work
hanger
with
on
us.
right now.
Yeah,
So
you've literally just been following, so I'm not. Unless you make an agreement, like, a pact or something with me,
Oh no, I'm having fun.
yeah, then don't worry about it. And I would explain that to Narga that he's just here because he enjoys our company so much. Or rather, the excitement that our company brings. But I'd offer payment to everybody else. I'm not sure what the rate would be for tag-along adventurers.
That actually depends on your contract. It really depends on what contract you made with these adventurers. Some contracts are a percentage of earnings.
Mhm.
Some contracts are straight, I'm going to pay you this much per week or month.
Considering we weren't, or rather, I wasn't expecting payment for this mission in general, I was just doing this because Llewellyn asked me to. I wouldn't have done a percentage because I wasn't expecting to get paid out of this. I was just doing it. This would have
Spider
been
and
personal
Barrett,
funds that I hired them, so a rate per week maybe.
I promised them full share of mercenary company. Narga just needs head stretches and a place, one place to sleep.
I'm
I didn't
pretty
hear the end of
sure you actually hired Narga on as a percentage because he's a
Okay.
mercenary veteran. And what he's
Okay.
saying is, seriously, Scott, I am having problems with your audio. Could you turn
Yeah.
it up so you could re-say it?
Narga promised Barrett and Spider a full share. Narga literally just needs head scritches and a place to sleep.
Well, I would insist on paying
Can I
Narga
use-
something anyway.
Can I use animal handling and give Narga belly rubs, assuring him that I'm along for the ride?
Narga's more similar to a cat. If you try to rub his belly, he will bite the shit out of you.
Also,
I
sentient
try to give
person.
him chin screeches.
I I wouldn't touch it. Then if it's percentages, I don't know. Probably not. Anyway,
What?
if your mic is on, then it's echoey and awful.
Sorry, go
It's
ahead.
okay. Then whatever, I don't know what the standard, what would the percentage be? 10?
If you were the leader of the company, you would probably take a 60%. Your second in command would probably take 20.
That'd be Narga.
This is completely out of
You're not even
character.
on the payroll.
This is purely how shares work.
Oh, please. Yes, thank you.
It was purely about being second in command. That was
So
all.
you have to figure out how many shares there are, and that's the percentage. So usually the commander has two full shares. The XO or any exec officers have a share and a half, and everybody else has a share.
Okay.
So right now there are 3 people, so you would have 2 shares, or 4 people. So there's 5 shares of the treasure. You would get 2 shares, and the rest of us would get 1 share each. So you divide by 5, you'd get 2 of that, and we'd all get 1 of that.
Then it would be 200 and divvy from there. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll give them their payment and say, here you go. If you want to come along, this is what we're doing.
Oh. So do you need us to, like, use our carpet, Bear and I, to fly you to your next place?
Yeah, now it's our carpet. You've been so helpful.
Oh, this is Spider's carpet. He won it in a card game.
Yeah.
I thought he found it in a card game.
No, he
he
paid
paid a lot of money for.
Yeah, you gotta buy into
shopping
those games.
this morning, and still.
All right. I'm gonna fess up here. I
Did
might
you
have
borrow it?
I might have stolen it from a merchant.
I can't believe it.
Barrett had nothing to do with it. He's completely innocent. He tried to stop me.
It's fine. I don't care. Yeah, sure. If it can get the job done.
All
So
right,
how
sign
did
contract.
Barrett
Let's go.
How did Barrett end up with the cool hat?
Well, it was a card game. It was a dice game. That was a dice game, right, Barrett?
Yes?
Oh, did you mute yours now? Yours doesn't.
Being fucking weird, alright?
So when you mute yours through the headset, it doesn't show up on your picture, so I can't tell if it's muted or not. See how mine,
sorry.
when I mute it, you're real funny. You're fine.
It's all good. So, dice game?
Oh yeah, there was a dice game on the way back from the card game where yeah, he was innocent. It was all me. You have to keep an eye on me. Barrett should keep an eye on me more often.
That does sound like a logical assigned partner. You're
Yeah,
muted.
you're both muted again.
Stay muted.
You're good. You're good.
Yes.
Okay.
Dargus's opinion is that we keep Dwarf and Troll as partners, and Sim and Narga as partners.
And Royal and the Rug as partners.
Yes,
Sure.
Narga is great with this. No trouble can come from this pairing at all.
Wholeheartedly.
Her pet snake-like rug.
Yep.
Inchworming.
So, I think that's where we're gonna end it tonight. I will say, could probably do one more player if someone has someone that they think would be great for joining the Sun Puppies.
Does that mean someone serious or?
I was just gonna ask, are we
You looking for someone to
continuing
ground
a
us?
green, or are we wanting another character that can kind of lead us with logic?
I would say
Rose not doing a great job.
Yeah. I would say another player that would enjoy the Sun Puppies.
So
interaction.
somebody that's little chaotic about.
Yeah. Because I care more about everyone having fun. And you
Yeah,
are
but Tina's gonna
making
switch them.
progress.
Not
Yeah,
just
Tina's
one.
gonna switch them through it if you told her to just have fun.
Yeah. So, if there's another person you think that would enjoy our game, we can invite them.
I know a lot of people that enjoy our game. I'm not entirely sure how many people could, like, their schedule would work for.
Yeah, that is the other part.
Because my thought initially was my sister would love this, but I don't know with her schedule.
Okay.
If she'd be able to.
Well, check with her.
Okay.
Like, my initial reaction is Hannah would love this game, but
Her schedule is
yeah,
not conducive to regular
anything.
game right now.
Yeah. The only other person I can think of here is on a boat still for another 3 months, and then he's moving to Kodiak and having a baby. So,
Wow.
yeah, and he's an ET, but his wife's having the baby, obviously. But I told him to reach out to me after they have a routine.
It would be a much more epic story if he was having the baby, but you know,
I mean, he is an ET, so it's possible.